Freezer One, happy Friday. Joseph James, SchoolTrade.com. Here's your live trading recap. Last day of trading for the month of April, April 30th, 2010. Before we talk about those trades we took today, had another wonderful day in the room, guys. We keep learning more and more each day, but guys, you can keep learning more on the blog as well. If you miss our live trade room sometimes, or if you want to find more information about the terms we talk about in the live trade room, that blog is going to be your best resource for it. Use the search box in the blog. Type in your question, right? Type in the term you're looking for. Maybe it's the breaker pattern. Maybe it's the DX pattern. Maybe you want to learn more about crude oil futures, right? Use that search box in the blog, guys. And don't forget, if you have any questions, post the question in the blog or email us, and we'll be sure to add whatever information you guys are missing to the blog as well. Let's see here. We took one scalp trade today. We took two DX trades today. All three of them were winners. 19 ticks. $10 a tick, 190 USD. We finished up a great month of April today, guys. Challenging month. We had only our second losing day this month last week. We had $2,000 this week, guys. You can see we had a great week, second week, third week, fourth week in April. Tough time here, right? Earnings season, end of the first quarter. This is, like we always say, this time of year is usually going to be the toughest part of the year. And we did our best to get through it. We did a pretty good job. Just shy of $9,000 for the month here in April. Only 4 contracts needed to do it. Brings our 2010 totals just shy of $33,000. As you guys know, we'll keep you guys posted into May, right? Into May next month. So most important that happened today. Well, Friday, always have an early close. So we expect, of course, being a Friday morning, we're all excited to get out of the office. We want to get out to our weekend started. So we expect to have an early close on Friday. Now, today was kind of one of those Fridays that really kind of snuck past us, to be honest with you. Friday's an early close. We had a GDP number at 8:30, so we expected to see some good movement at 8:30 this morning. We really tried to grab a couple trades before the 9:30 U.S. Open, because when the 9:30 U.S. Open set in, we had 9:30, 9:45 news, 9:55 news, 10 o'clock news. So it really felt like we were waiting for about an hour and a half there, only about 45 minutes, but it felt like forever. And it feels like, obviously, by that time, at 10 o'clock, we had missed a big chunk of our day. And then, of course, we had Obama begin speaking at about 10:45, 11 o'clock about the GDP number. We didn't really have anything that shook things up this morning. There's a bank holiday on Monday in the UK, so we expect people probably left a little bit early to get that long weekend started in the UK. And as always, right, we don't really like to assume, we don't predict, we wait to see the market give us some proof. The dollar always is where we get started. So we start the day with the dollar, but for the most part today, the most important that happened today was we really didn't have very much going on. There wasn't a lot of opportunity because we were taken by the news. Then Obama stepped in late in the morning, and with the UK holiday, I think we kind of just, it felt like today was a Friday that pretty much skipped us. We made some money though. We'll talk more about that here in a second. So here is the first thing. First things first, we always start our day by looking at the dollar index, right? The dollar index is going to give us the overall direction for the day ahead. Now, in the lower left-hand corner here, lower right-hand corner, your other left, is the DX slow chart. Now, as you guys know, the slower time frame chart shows me the big picture, right? That big picture. The big picture shows me, of course, focus down bottom here. We didn't have any double bottoms, did we, today? Not really. We had this one right here. But we're used to seeing a sideways mark in the dollar. We didn't see that today. We saw actually a trending environment down, as you guys can see. So a little bit of a different environment we're used to seeing. But we did have that double bottom here just above that 81,740. Now remember that, right? 81,740. Okay, that's my low. Now, let's go over here to my left side of the screen here, and here's my DX fast time frame. Right? The fast time frame is, this of course is an 8 range. It could be a 6 range, a 4 range, a 1 minute, a 2 minute. It could be really a lot of things. 89 tick chart would work for a fast time frame. So whatever you guys want to use for a fast time frame is fine with me. We just want to make sure the fast time frame is that zooming in of the market, right? We zoom in. We now look at the details on the fast time frame. The slow time frame shows the big picture. Fast time frame, when I zoom in, now shows me a little more specifics here. And specifically, we look at overhead resistance here on the dollar. Now, we noticed right away here this morning, this is about 9 o'clock, about 8:30 here, when we came in, we saw this stuff happening. We noticed we had overhead resistance bouncing off these lows. Now, guys, next week, we'll be doing a special members-only training on the DX pattern. So make sure you guys come and join us for that, 11:30 on Wednesday, 11:30 Eastern Time on Wednesday, a special DX pattern webinar we'll be doing for our members on Wednesday. So make sure you guys are here for that. We'll talk more about how we look for this stuff. But the bottom line is, dollar sitting on its lows, right? Dollar sitting on its lows. Now what we're going to do is we're now going to go over and look at currency future. Okay, so with the dollar sitting on its lows, we want to see the euro, the yen, the pound, the CAD, the Swissy, something at its highs, right? That's going to help us with this DX pattern to the short side now. So dollar sitting at its lows, we recognize the dollar at its lows right away. So when we see the dollar at its lows, we immediately move to the currencies and we look for a trade pattern. Here, as you can see here, here's the euro, right? There's the euro, and this, of course, is my fast time frame, an 8 range, right? Could be an 89 tick chart, could be a lot of different things, but in this case, it's an 8 range chart. We're going to now look at the high of day, right? There's your high of day, right? 33.44. So we're sitting at the highs, as you can see, about 8:30, right? About 8:30, we're sitting at the highs here on the euro. Meanwhile, the dollar is sitting at its lows. We're then going to use a simple two-step pattern to enter the trade once we see the dollar break that resistance that we had defined before. Okay, so if you guys were in the room this morning with us, you saw as we went through step by step identifying overhead resistance. So we knew what we had to get above on the dollar in order for us to be able to get to the downside on the euro. Remember, it's a negative correlation. Okay, so remember, dollar rising, euro falling. Okay, we're looking for the dollar to bounce off its lows, right, breaking a swing high. Meanwhile, I want the euro bouncing off the highs, breaking the swing low. So here on the euro, right, here's my swing low right here, right around that big round number of 3,300. Okay, so that's my swing low. So on the euro, we defined, again, levels of support. Want to make sure below this 3,300 that I have enough room for this thing to tumble. Now, if you guys were with us this morning here, I made a key mistake, right, as we were demoing this pattern this morning. I made a key mistake here, right, and didn't find the level of support down bottom here. Now, follow me up to the right-hand corner here. And look here, 38.24, right, 38.24, 33.13, and 33.08. Now, 33.08, right, that's above my entry at 33 even. Right, 33.18, exactly the same. That's also above me. So the green and the blue background charts do not matter in this case because they're above me, right? They're not going to be support. They're going to be resistance. But 32.84, right? 32.84 will be my first target. All right, and that was one thing we missed here this morning, this first trade. We missed the first target there at 32.84. And as you can see, what happened was, right, price came down on this first move, right? Price came down and literally bounced off that 32.84 level. So we learned a valuable lesson here on the first trade of the day, using the DX pattern short on the euro. What did we learn? The first things first, when you get into a trade, set that profit target. And remember, right, check your slow and your medium time frames there to make sure you know exactly where that profit target should be placed. Now again, for all you members out there, next Wednesday, special webinar on the DX pattern, we'll be talking more about this.